Good morning. Welcome to Choices Podcast. You can find us at choicespodcastofficial.com. You can go to YouTube and just Google Choices Podcast. You'll find our website. Please Google down and subscribe to our podcast by putting your email in there. We're growing like a weed. We're having fun. And the beautiful thing is, Carcass and I have reconnected with a lot of our discovery people and discovery programs. And discovery programs is starting in Austin, September 12th. And we want to fill the room. That's what we say. We like to fill the room of people who deserve more than what they're giving themselves. And you know who they are. It's like, man, I've got this friend. He's a drummer. He's really cool guy, but boy, he really likes himself. If he could just go through the car wash and fix himself for a weekend, he'd be the best drummer in the world and the best friend you could ever have.
I love that metaphor, Brett. He needs to go through the emotional car wash.
That's right. And y'all all know Carcass, my buddy.
What's going on, folks?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
We're going to talk about today's show. We got a great guest, Grady. And today's show is going to be how to live in your heart. When I met Grady, he's like a big guy in Austin on putting people in the seminar. He went through Dallas. He probably put a lot of people through Dallas too. So he's going to help you learn how to put people in discovery programs to get more of what they want and how to live in their heart. Because when I first met Grady, dude, it was like, oh, this guy, he reminds me of myself back when I went with Phil to the training when Phil had it. And it was like, I put 10 people in the next month. Grady put in 8. And so I know exactly what he meant. People are looking at me, wondering what I'd been through. I said, okay, go to this. And it's exactly the way it works. But he lives in his heart. Carcass, you live in your heart.
Yes, sir. Well, you know what Grady said?
What?
Grady said that people looked at him and said, if this program can fix this guy, then I need to get what he's getting out of that. So that's what helped, because he took those tools and ran with them and utilized them and applied them.
Absolutely. And so, Carcass, I love it when you pick a song and the lyrics. You got a good one?
I got a good one.
I bet it's from heart. Is it from heart?
No. I didn't get the obvious one. When you live in your heart, I think you share part of your heart. And I think that's important to help it grow, because just like working out, you have to expend a little energy. And so I found a song by Bruno Mars called Count on Me.
Oh, really?
And here it is.
All right.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We find out what we're made of when we're called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there.
Wow.
How about that?
You know what? I love that. Before we bring Grady on, my mentor, I've always told you, is a federal judge. And you know what I love about him? He don't call you the day you lost somebody or lost your dog. He calls you 6 weeks later after everybody else has gone home. just what the song lyric says.
Yep.
You can count on him.
Well, and then
I'll be there.
the final line of that verse before the chorus starts is because that's what friends are supposed to do.
Isn't that the truth?
Yep.
Okay. So real fast. My quote of the day came from my wife, Senka.
She's a good lady.
People don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's poignant and frightening all at the same time.
With that being said, let's bring in Grady, Mark.
Are we going to wing it without a...
Are we going to wing it without... Oh, I think we lost him.
Uh-oh.
He'll come back in.
Sure.
We can keep chatting.
Sure,
I like
we can.
Grady, though, man. Grady's cool.
No, he's a good dude.
But, you know, it's like my wife said today. She goes, people don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. Isn't that the truth? You know?
Well, and they don't remember what you necessarily say either. They remember what you did.
Right.
And because a lot of people talk, but a lot of people can't walk the walk behind the talk. They can write the check. They can't cash the check, so to speak. And
you can categorize people too. Category 1 is the surface level friend that you'll talk to, but there he is. Grady.
Yeah, if some reason I got disconnected, I don't know, but I'm reconnected.
You know what? It doesn't matter. We're not that kind of show.
It's called production value, Grady. It's all good.
I don't think it was my fault.
we were talking about our quote of the day, and it was from. Did you hear that? From my wife, Senka.
I heard the first part of it.
She said, "People don't remember what you say; they remember how you make them feel." Isn't that cool?
Perfect.
So, Grady, tell us about you, man. You're cool. I hope people are watching the show, dude, because you got cool things all over.
God, about me, I mean, what do you want to know? I mean, it's just a long list.
When did you go through discovery programs?
You know, I went through 10 years ago.
10 years ago, 2015.
Yep. And, man, I went through that because there was nothing wrong with me. You know, I went through, I was going, now my wife, she's messed up.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Okay. It's keep saying reconnecting on my phone. Anyway, sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm on the way to Rockport. You know, I'm going there because my wife is a mess, or my girlfriend's a mess. She needs this so bad, but I'm willing to go because she's just a mess. Well, that's not true. I was the mess that I found out, right? So I go through, and man, I just discovered everything that I was always looking for. And, you know, I tell people, my life, I swear, I was running around in circles, okay? And I was successful, but I was always in circles. No matter what I did or how much money I had or what successes I had business-wise, I always ended up back in the same spot in my head. You know, I just could never go forward. And, you know, I went through and I realized that, you know, it was me standing in my own way.
What does that mean? Man, that's the lawyer. You're on drink examination now. What does that mean?
Wow. You know, it was, well, me standing my own way really boiled down to me blaming everybody else and not taking accountability for my actions. It was never my fault. It was always somebody else's fault. You know, so if it's always somebody else's fault, you're never going to fix a problem, because really normally, especially with us men, it's us, you know, especially in a relationships. 9 times out of 10, it is us. So
the word narcissist is for men. You rarely
Oh
ever
yeah,
heard
yeah.
a woman call a narcissist. It's always the guy.
It's
I get it.
pretty rare. It's
Yeah.
pretty rare.
So you walked in. It sounds like you were a dog chasing its tail,
Oh yeah. I mean,
and you were
it,
living in your head and not in your heart.
oh yeah, I was all head. Even though I had a great big heart. I mean, my heart
Yeah.
was huge, but I couldn't get into it, right? And I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out why man, I could be in a penthouse somewhere and just, man, I've got money, and of course at the
Yeah.
time back then, women or whatever, I was filling my void. But man, I would get there and I'm just sitting there going, what am I missing? This ain't it. Or I'd buy this, or I'd do this, or I'd reach this level of success.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I'm still the same person. I still feel the same way inside. Like I don't know who I am. Or so nothing was ever good enough. Nothing was ever good enough. No, I grew a plumbing company that was like #2 in Austin from nothing. And I grew it up so big, and I was like, it's not good enough. But it was me.
Was that fear
I
of
get up
failure?
there.
Did you have the feel of failure embedded in?
Oh yeah, man. It's funny. I was fear of failure, and I'm like, man, I skyrocketed off that fear of failure. Let me tell you, it made me
I
successful.
still look that way, though. I got to be honest with you. I'm so afraid to fail. I mean, yeah, but that's a good thing. I use it in a healthy way now.
Yeah, me too. It's like, failure's okay. It's all right. If you're not failing, you're not working.
I tell my young lawyers, I say, you guys are really good. I'm gonna say, I tell them, when you're a good lawyer, it's good that you go out and get a client, but you're a real good lawyer if you can keep a client. And keeping a client means a lot of things. You got to give them more than they ask for. You got to share your heart with them. You got to listen to them. You got to get to know them. There's a lot of things that come with being a good lawyer. And I learned it from the seminar. I did. I learned, I was back way before you went in there. But you know what I learned? The second best book ever written, Carcass, what is it? Not the Bible. It's the second best.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes, by Dale Carnegie. The whole people don't care about you, man. They care about themselves. And you got to pull it out of them, And that's what that whole seminar is about. Pulling it out. Just pulling it out.
When I was, I learned a couple of just big things in discovery. And, one of the things, I was in D2, and I'll never forget, I'm looking around and I'm like, man, every single person in here, man or woman, are in here because of a man. Everybody is in there because of a man.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm going to share something with you. It's really funny. Okay. I ran that thing for 15 years. So I was in like 9/11, we only had 7 trainees. It was the craziest thing you ever see in your life. We had like 15 volunteers. But that was when you're really getting good because you don't quit. Guys like Dash held you up and Posey held you up. And we were like, come on, man, we're going to go train these 7 dudes. But it was like this. The seminar would have 1 month would be all women. Then the next month it's going to be all men. Then the next month would be all women. It would flow like that because it's just the way it flowed. I mean, I can't wait to get my husband in here. Or I can't wait to get my wife in here. So it flowed like that a lot. So that's interesting that you picked up on that.
Yeah, and that's where everybody in there was most of their defining moments. It came from a man, and that's where it's very important for men to just go to discovery, and you gotta go. You gotta be.
I listen to you, and you live in your heart, dude. You're unfiltered now. You're like unfiltered.
Oh yeah,
dude. Yeah. It's like I could sit there and have a really nice cup of coffee with you. But it's like, tell the people what it's like to live in your heart versus living in your head.
Oh man, oh, it's great. It's great. I mean,
It is.
man, oh, it's oh, you know, I don't worry about things. You know, problems aren't problems. You know, you're free, and I'm talking about true freedom. You don't. The stress is you. You know, in business, you're always going to have a little bit of something, but you don't stress out about it. You don't let it ruin your day. I mean, and you can love. You know, you can love with all of you. But you know, the biggest thing about it is it allows you to be vulnerable,
Yes.
and that's where and I am. And that's right. I mentor a lot of guys, and my key is to them as I tell them vulnerability. We are taught not to be vulnerable when it's and you're weak when you're vulnerable. And you know what? Vulnerability, that is the strongest thing a guy has
Yeah.
because it takes every ounce of our body to be vulnerable. So it's wrong. If you're vulnerable, you are a strong man, not a weak man. But
Yeah.
that's the key. That's what you get living in your heart. You can be
That's
vulnerable.
that's
You
the
can you can
culture.
put yourself out on the line, right? You can just put
That's
yourself out there. This is how I feel, you know, and it's not coming from here, you know,
yeah.
because normally this is not how you feel up here in your head. You know,
That's the
you can
culture
have
those
real
guys in Austin are
yes,
trying to create is kindness, freedom, vulnerability, and all that, man. Because like with my law firm, if you're not kind, if you're a dude and you really think you're really good and you probably need to go somewhere else, I sick the women on it.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know what I
good.
mean? I
Yeah, yeah,
discovery breeds strong women, dude. It just
yeah,
does.
oh yeah,
It's like,
oh
I
yeah.
don't
Let me
understand
tell you,
work.
yeah,
Huh? It's
that is
like,
true. I mean, that's you're
isn't it?
not pulling anything.
Oh my gosh, we lost him.
Oh no. I was
That's a
hoping he would clarify his point on why people are there because of men, and I kind of understand it. In fact, you know, when I went through the program,
yeah,
unsuspectingly, because I didn't know I was going through until I was there.
right.
The reason for this gal's issues were because of men,
Yeah.
and and there wasn't a strong woman in her life to kind of fall back to and say, what do I do? So the fact that she was there and she got it all out on the table, uh it spoke to her character. She, you know, she wanted she wanted to get out of her own head and live out of her heart.
And
But
that's what Grady was saying about being vulnerable. If
yeah,
men that were in her life were leaders by being vulnerable, she could trust them.
right.
Right.
But she couldn't trust them. In
That's
fact,
right.
she couldn't trust anybody. And I know that when we first sat down next to each other, by body language, I could tell that this was very uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
And
So Grady,
I didn't even have a beard then.
Grady,
Yeah,
Carcass,
I'm back. So
Carcass, ask Grady what you were talking about.
I was just wondering, Grady, if you could just clarify for the listening audience what you meant by um, the reason why people were in discovery was because of a man or because of men.
well, you know, men, you know, you go in there and you see a lot of trauma or people have been through something. And what I realized, and I'm watching everybody in there and listening to things that they've been through, it's because of a man. It's a man has done this.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a woman that problem with their mother, that's because the mother was mistreated by a man. And you know, men are powerful, and man, we are. Whew, if you're a
Well,
man that's in his head is damaging, not
well, and
only
that's
to
what I
himself
thought.
but
That's
to
what I
the
thought you meant.
yeah.
And to your point, men are powerful, but women wield the power in a good relationship, I
Yes.
think.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh
let's
yes.
even the playing field. I'll take I'll take smart women any day of the week over smart men.
Oh yeah.
And and men leaders think they're leaders, but women leaders are leaders. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Grady, I used to get behind in that seminar. I'd get behind it. You know, we have a pretty tough clock to work on. Every time I get behind, I grab me 5 strong women and I get caught up real quick because they get to the dude, you're so full of yourself. You know what I mean? And you think you're hiding it and you're not, and you start looking around and you
Yeah.
go, well, I guess I might need to look at some of that, right?
Well, I don't know if this has anything to do with what we're talking about, but I always found it easier to talk to my mother than my father. Um, and I don't know why, because my father was very open-minded, very gracious, but but he was a military guy and very strict and very straight. He was a straight arrow, the straightest I've ever known, and yet I guess it maybe stemmed from a feeling that I didn't want to disappoint him, but I could always tell my mother everything. In fact, even if I was going to tell my father something that was a big deal, I would run it past my mother first. So to
Well,
your point, Brett,
99% of men are always mama's boys, even after their mama died. You know, I'm,
My
I'm
pseudo name, Mama's Boy.
mama's boy. Get out of here!
Yeah, that's my pseudo.
Oh God, that's awesome, Grady. What else you want to? Grady, I need your help here. Okay, I got I got Dash, Posey, Reader, Cindy, everyone, Stephanie standing behind me, going, tell the listeners how to get somebody in the training.
Oof. You know, how I get people in is I'm real with them. Um, I'm vulnerable. I'll tell my story. I've got an amazing story. You know, grew up without a father, a mother that I had to take care of, and I'm on my own. And I've been through it. You know, it's like I tell people, you know, I might not be able to tell you what to do, but I can tell you what not to do. I've got a lot of self-inflicted life experience problems that I've had in my life, and then I've had a lot of successes. Most of those came after discovery. Um, you know, when I could live in my heart, um, but it's just being real. I mean, man, and caring. I talk to people and I listen to people. If I see somebody that's just I know is struggling, man, I'll plant a seed. I won't say, "Oh, you need to go to this," because if you say, "Oh, you need to go to this," they take it as, "Oh, well, you think I'm messed up." You know, I just plant a seed.
Now,
I'll
who are
plant
you
a
to tell
seed.
me I'm messed up?
Yeah, right. You know, it can't say you need to go do this, right? That doesn't work, because they automatically are like, oh, what? You know, but I plant seeds, I always plant seeds. It could be a grocery clerk, it could be a bouncer at a bar that I almost got in an argument and fight with one day. and I planted
Uh,
a seed in him.
Grady,
And
listen to this. So I was across the street from SMU, and I was taking I play the drums now with Carcass, but I was taking piano lessons, and my wife and my kids were with me, and I stopped at the Starbucks there to get a latte. I'm known for liking a latte, and so the lady I ordered the latte from, working at Starbucks, says, "Thank you, but you don't owe anything." I said, "No, ma'am, I want to pay for my latte. I don't want to go to jail over a latte." She goes, "No, I'm buying your latte." I went through discovery. At the time I went through discovery, I had never had a job. I was out of school and I had kids with no fathers. Now I have kids. I graduated from the school across the street and I have a job here at Starbucks. And I want to thank you. My wife and I just started crying. It was so beautiful. You never know when you can make that kind of difference in somebody's life. you know?
Yeah, and when you live in your heart, you see all God puts people in front of you every day.
Yeah.
If you're up here in your head, you're not going to see those people
Yeah.
because you can't see. You can't even, if you're in your head, you can't even see your wife that's sitting in front of you at the
Yeah.
dinner table.
Yeah.
You
And
got to be
sometimes I
real
have to
hard.
tell myself to switch.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I
I
have
mean,
to tell
you're
myself,
always going to hop up there, right?
yeah, yeah, switch. Okay, here we go.
And you
What's
got to out.
going on? Yeah, I have another rule I call DBAP, but I'll say that one for another day. Don't be because men have to learn to take out the trash, shut up,
Yeah.
and just get after it. You know what I mean? Make
Yep.
people's lives simpler, and they don't care about the money. You can always make money, right? I mean, we can
Yeah.
always make money. Hey, what would you say, Grady? I want to give you a scenario. I love this. I'm having so much fun with you. What would you say if there's a lady that you just helped in a divorce? She just got divorced, 64. She hadn't had a job in 34 years. She's scared and she doesn't know what to do. What would you tell her?
She's never been to Discovery.
Mm.
Well, there's number.
What would you tell her?
She's never been to Discovery.
Mm.
Well, there's number one.
Um, as far as getting her into Discovery,
Yeah. What would you say to her?
I'm gonna tell her, you know what? You know, before you get into another relationship, you've been through a lot. Before you get into another relationship, why don't you kind of work on yourself a little bit to get some of that stuff out, and so you can just kind of refine yourself a little, and just go do this and just check it out.
And enjoy
It's just
and
only, it's
enjoy the
only going to
last.
make you better.
She's listening to our show. I want her to go through. And I'm going to call her after when we're done saying why she deserves to go through.
It's just going to make
you never too old. You're never too old to go.
Oh my God. I was going through with a pastor that was 70 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. We were used to be a breeding grounds for pastors that needed new hearts. That was a whole other
story. Yeah, because they give and they give and they give and they give and
they burn out.
Yeah,
well,
and then they can't give to their family, because they're giving to everybody else,
You're doing funerals, sick people. You got old Gladys Kravitz yelling down your throat all the time about what you're not doing right. Yeah. Discovery's for everybody, man. And it's like
everybody.
It doesn't
no
replace
matter what age.
It doesn't replace counseling, but what it does, it excels that growth period when you do counseling afterwards.
Yes, let me tell you, me and my wife, we went through a phase where we were really having some problems, and it was after Discovery. And what had happened was she had never forgiven me because I put her through the ringer when we first met. I mean, I put her through the ringer, and so she had never really forgiven me, and that ended up coming back out, right? So we ended up going through an affair recovery program, and man, we go in this program, and we're like, we both been Discovery, so we know how to get in our hearts. And we went in there, and the counselor told us, "Oh, you guys are going to be great in here." And we went in there, and we were like, we're all in a big group thing, and we're just, man, we can share our hearts. Wham, right, go right to it. And we just aced. I mean, I felt sorry for these people in there because, one, I'm giving my heart, right? Like, and these guys are just typical guys that, like, they don't want to share nothing. And I'm all like, sharing from the bottom of my heart. But, Discovery helps you do all that stuff. It helps you get here. It's really all about getting in your heart. And if you're here, you're not going to accomplish. You're just going to be circles. Your head will just put you in circles, and you always end up in the same spot.
You end up
Your
killing people
heart,
in your head.
yeah, you will end up in the same spot all the time. You got to be. Your heart is the only way to move forward and go straight. Is living
So
in your
look,
heart.
Marcus. Hey, Mark, run across the screen how you get hold of us at Choices Podcast. If you have somebody that you want to put through the seminar, we're going to sick Grady on them. We're going to sick me on them. We're going to sick Carcass on them.
I got a discovery hit that I need to I call in Grady.
Grady and me.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I'm telling you, and I'll give them my story, and after they hear my story, they're like, "Oh, I'm going."
Well, the thing is
you
two are cut from similar cloth, and with the whole father thing and whatever, I can feel. You've given me some tools that I'm going to use, and like I said, I think I planted the seed, but just like anything, even if we're, my father used to tell me that even if you're squared away, you still got to pull the weeds in the garden. You know what I mean? You still have to water it, nurture it, and feed it right, and it's no different than life or sports or relationships. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you're done. I mean, it's work and maintenance and you're sometimes it's going to rain too much and it's going to flood it out and you're going to have to dig trenches and move water. And
dude, I've been Grady. Have you been flat on the road where you're a roadkill, where you could barely lift up a hand and ask someone to help you?
My God.
We've been there.
I've been there.
Look, you're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, God, why am I even here? This is horrible.
Mark, flash
I've been it.
My office number is 214-219-1000. Flash my office number across the screen. If you got somebody that you want to go through the seminar, we're building Austin, and we're going to get the room the size it needs to be. And just call if you have a problem, put somebody in, and I'll call them. I'll get them in. If they're in jail and they need to go through, I'll talk to the judge. I'll do whatever we need to do to get them through. Grady, we love you, man. You're awesome.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Thanks for joining us today.
That's
Appreciate
what
anytime. Hey, and you got my number now. You ever want to call, you call me.
All right, Grady.
And if you need somebody that you're really struggling to get in, call me. I'll do what I can do.
Amen, brother. You're going to hear from me.
I know. We got a Carcass with Henry.
All
right. We'll talk at you.
All right. Bye, guys.
See you, Grady.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Thank y'all for listening. Well,